Hello, welcome to the Garden Gurus. I'm Trevor Cochran. We've got another brilliant program for you, packed full of down-to-earth gardening advice. Here's what's coming up on today's show. Kalinda shares her expert tips and tricks to prepare your pond just in time for winter. Nigel will show us how to resolve hydrophobicity in lawns. And the cooler weather is fast approaching, so I'll show you how to keep the weeds at bay this winter.
Digging around. Digging the ground. I got my spade, I got my hoe, I got my rake, and I'm ready to go.
Consistent moisture levels in soil are vitally important to healthy garden plants. If it gets too dry or even too moist, as some of us have experienced recently, plants will stress. And stressed plants don't just look sad, they attract pest infestations, and they're also more vulnerable to diseases. So finding a way to keep the soil structure open, yet holding moisture in it, is the holy grail of gardening. Now, our number one objective is to try and get moisture into this soil and get it to stay there in where the plant's roots are moving through. In more recent times, we've had technology developed like these water storage crystals. It's a kind of polymer, and what it does is it absorbs lots of water and then slowly releases it back to the soil. But it is a plastic, effectively, that we're putting into the soil. And now more than ever, we're aware of the problem with microplastics in our environment. So trying to avoid this has been something that, well, we just couldn't actually do because we didn't have a natural alternative until just recently. This is a highly porous rock mineral. It carries a negative charge, rapidly absorbing water and attracting nutrients, then releasing them slowly to the soil and the plant's roots. If you add it into the soil's surface, it acts like a natural sponge. It's called mineral magic, and these benefits are just some of the quite magic qualities that it has for plants. I'm using it to improve the wettability of dry garden soil in sandy soil-based garden beds. Of course, this is this ancient rock mineral I've been talking about throughout the series. It's 125 million years old. It was once ancient plankton that floated to the bottom of a sea in the north of Australia, but today, well, it's what they call biogenic amorphic silica, a highly absorbent natural product that is so good in horticultural applications. Now, in the fine grade, it's fabulous for lawns. In the coarse grade, brilliant for garden beds, and an even coarser grade, will you use it as an aquaponic and hydroponic growing medium. Now, this, once you've put it into the soil, changes the soil structure forever. So it's a very good investment. It's my experience now that I've spent time studying it, that you get even better results if you integrate it into the soil, apply a fertiliser like Troforte M, and water it in immediately. If you add an organic mulch over the soil after, the results are spectacular. Let me show you what I mean. Take this garden bed here. It's a really good example of how you can transform a garden bed that was, well, suffering from old, tired soil. The dahlias here have been planted out and were not performing. The shade of the trees, the poor quality soil, it was holding them back. I applied Mineral Magic, around 1 kilo per square metre, dug into the topsoil. I haven't fed them. All I've done is give them water and look at them. They're hitting their straps. And the weird thing about it is this is a month after the rest of them in the garden have peaked. So they're all declining. These guys are just coming through. It only goes to prove that you can dramatically improve poor, tired, old soils by using this ancient rock mineral. This is my lawn, and I simply top dress the Mineral Magic over the top of it at a rate of 1 to 1.5 kilos per square metre. The results took about 3 weeks in coming, but since then, the lawn has been a rich emerald green. And just 5 weeks down the line, the lawn is looking amazing. The only thing I have to do between now and winter is give it a feed, and the good news is because I've used Mineral Magic, I'm only going to use half as much fertiliser and get twice the result. It's absolutely brilliant. And if you've been struggling to get your hands on it, don't worry. There has been a massive demand and the guys have been struggling to keep up with supply. The good news is all the retailers right across Australia are now pretty well stocked, so you will be able to get your hands on it. All you have to do to find your local retailer, of course, is check out this website.
Have a look at this, folks. I'm surrounded by beautiful fruits here in the veggie garden. It's a smorgasbord of citrus, We've got the grapefruit, the orange, the mandarin, and this beautiful pawpaw tree. And you can see nature in action here, the sequence of the flowers forming and then slowly turning into the beautiful pawpaw fruit. It's amazing. But if you've only got a small space, you can just go for something smaller, like the sage, rosemary, and bay tree. Beautiful.
For me, visiting the garden centre and going straight to the herb section is like being excited about a lolly shop as a kid. There are so many new varieties and I just get excited. I want to have one of everything. And if you haven't gone recently, I recommend you do. Autumn is the best time to plant some of the fabulous varieties available, because luckily for home gardeners in Australia, there are some absolute passionate people who are behind all these new releases, and it makes gardening so much fun. Have you seen this one? Part of the Balanced Body range, the burdock root has been part of traditional medicine for centuries. Traditional healers have recommended the use of burdock root to fight infections such as the common cold. In addition to reducing inflammation and high antioxidant properties, it's the plant to have this autumn. Roots can grow very long, up to 50 centimetres, and it's best grown in full sun and harvested young. One of the other varieties that needs to be harvested early is the green artichoke. They're part of the same range. They taste good and also look good, and they're ideal for many hot conditions, and they're ideal for screening off the reflected heat from this fence. They've got gorgeous grey-green architectural foliage and they're simply stunning. Harvest the flowers before they develop colour, and the best thing about them, they are so good for you. They contain natural occurring pre- and probiotics. Red clover will grow in most areas of Australia. Regular watering when it's being established gives it a great start. Historically, it's been used for asthma, whooping cough and gout. Today, extracts from red clover are promoted for menopausal symptoms, cholesterol and osteoporosis. Regardless what it's used for, it's a pretty attractive plant to have in the garden. Sunny position and well-drained soil, and you can create your own pathway to health. All these plants are available at your local garden centre from Swan Valley Nursery.
They come in many different shapes, sizes, colours and forms. Houseplants are the candy land for plant lovers all around the world. And the beauty of having these growing in our homes is that we can enjoy these tropical, lush and sometimes unusual plants that we might not otherwise been able to grow in our gardens. So how do we keep them thriving all year round? Well, let me show you. One of the first key steps to growing plants indoors is the lighting. There are plants to suit all conditions. Some are better suited to lower light areas, whereas a plant like this, the Philodendron White Princess, does better in a brighter lit area. Just remember to rotate your plants once a month to keep them growing evenly. Otherwise, they can end up with lopsided growth due to them leaning to the direction that gets the most light. Avoid placing your plants in direct sunlight or near a window, because that reflective heat coming through that glass will burn the foliage. And avoid placing them near or under an air conditioning unit, because the dry air will damage the foliage and it will make the soil dry out a little bit quickly. When it comes to watering, always check the soil for moisture before giving them a drink. If the soil feels wet, don't water. If dry, then you should be good to give them a drink. But it's always important to research your plants and get to know their individual water requirements, as each plant will be different. Most houseplants require fertilising 2 to 3 times a year, and I like to use a controlled release fertiliser, and this will allow the plants to access nutrients as they need it, and I apply it about every 4 months. And the best way to do so is to grab a little bit and then scratch it into the top layer of that soil and then give it a really good drink. The probiotic microbes in Troforte fertilisers help to repair, reinvigorate soils and fight off soil-borne diseases naturally, which is ideal for indoor plants. A healthier soil means happier, healthier plants. So there won't be the need to use chemical pesticides, as they are less likely to suffer from insect attacks. The natural minerals in this feed are broken down in the soil by microbes, which means your plants will be able to take up those minerals quicker, resulting in more vigorous growth. If your plants are getting a little bit snug in their pots, you can repot from October through to November, and you can even put a little bit of this fertiliser in with the potting mix to give your plants a really good boost.
Now, here's a very important safety tip. When you're using a pole saw, never cut above a 65-degree angle. If you're doing that, the risk of pulling a branch back down on top of you and hurting yourself gets so much higher. Try and be safe at all times. Remember, these extendable pole pruners allow you to get to a certain height, but after that, well, you're probably going to need a cherry picker or a professional pruner to come in.
It's amazing that even after such heavy rain, if you dig down under the surface of the soil, it can be surprisingly dry sometimes, and the mind really can boggle at such a conundrum. One of the reasons for this dryness and lack of penetration is compaction, a common problem in lawns caused by constant foot traffic compacting the soil to the point where it won't accept water or air and nutrients. And this leads to very poor health, but is easily fixed by aerating. Hydrophobia is the other main reason where soil particles develop a waxy, water-repellent coating, and no matter how much rain or water you get, it just simply runs off and doesn't penetrate into the soil and root zone. So it basically goes to waste, which is a nasty business. Now, you won't believe it, but as luck would have it, this is also fairly easily fixed by applying a wetting agent that breaks down the waxy coating, allowing water and nutrients into the soil. It's genius, really, in its simplicity. This technology is contained in Scott's Lawn Builder plus wetting agents, as well as all the nutrients your lawn needs to stay strong, green and healthy. And being a slow-release fertiliser means that it gradually feeds over a 3-month period as opposed to one big dump of fertiliser, a lot of which goes to waste. This is some soil without Scott's Lawn Builder, and if I pour some water onto it, you can see that it is running off a little bit. Now, if I add some Lawn Builder with the wetting agent, we'll try the same experiment and put it to the test. Oh, yes. You can see that with the Lawn Builder and wetting agent, the water penetrates a lot more quickly, so you're looking after your lawn and you're saving water, our most precious resource.
The bearded iris is the secret flowering hero in the garden, and their tall, ruffled flowers are a showstopper. And they come in so many different colours, but best of all, they require minimum care. They grow best in a climate that has hot, dry summers with a cold, chilly winter. They will need at least 6 to 8 hours of sunlight in a soil that has good drainage for them to produce their flowers. If you have them growing in a shaded area of the garden and they never flower, the lack of sunlight will be the issue. So, dig them up and put them in a more sunny spot. When you're planting bearded iris, you'll want to make sure that the rhizome isn't planted too deep. So about this much is perfect. And that rhizome also needs to be exposed to the full sun in order for it to produce beautiful flowers. And make sure you don't cover it over with any mulch and that there isn't any plants casting shade on them. The foliage grows in a fan-like pattern, which is a great feature in the garden. They can be planted out en masse or in borders, and they make great companion plants for roses. And being a rhizome, they will multiply each year, gifting you with more plants and flowers in the garden.
This amazing plant has 3 great virtues. First of all, it flowers 12 months of the year. Number 2, it's almost indestructible. So you can go away on holidays and it will last for the 2 to 6 weeks without a dreak and look terrific when you get back. And number 3, you can grow it in the full sun or indoors. What a ripper. It's called Euphorbia milii, or the forever flower.
weeds really will take off this time of year, and if you don't do something about it and get on top of them, they'll get on top of you. And you know what they say, 1 year's weed seeds is 7 years of weeds, so you've got to make sure you get control. Now, the thing with it is you can do this job and you can do it the hard way, or you can have the right tools like this and do it the easy way. By now, you know I use Wolf Garden Tools, the German-designed and built tool collection that's guaranteed for 10 years or life under warranty. For professionals, this is vitally important, but it's essential in the home garden too. You want tools that will last. And the other thing is, it's easy to use. You can simply click on or off the various handle options depending what job you have to do. Like this, the KS2K weed extractor with a planting knife. Now you can cut at root level easily with this, removing weeds simply. In lawns, the push-pull weeder has to be one of the best devices you can have. It makes it so easy. You simply put it over the top of the weed, push down with your foot, pull back, and it pulls it right out, which is just fantastic. The Ergo Garden Weeder is the perfect tool for lawns. Its design helps you avoid a sore back from manually pulling weeds. There's no bending over to reach down. It's super clever and you will love this. Honestly, my favourite in this collection is the weeding cultivator. Every garden should have one. The cultivator is brilliant at opening soil up. Its deep tines open the soil up and aerate it. But the weed cutting blade, well, you simply roll the tool over and run the cutting blade, pulling it back to you, severing roots at ground level. Then just cultivate the weeds into the topsoil. Here's the thing, you could follow me around the garden all day and you'd find me using these Wolf Garden attachments because there's pretty much an attachment for every job you need to do in the garden. But my recommendation is you pop into your local specialist dealer. They're not sold commonly, they're only sold through specialist dealers and online, where you should check out this website.
As the weather cools, working outside is just so much more enjoyable, and there's lots you can do now to help your pond, water garden or aquaponics system remain productive and looking lovely throughout autumn. Hardy water lilies are starting to decline in growth and vigour about now. If they were lacking growth or flowering over summer, you may well need to repot. So take note of this in your calendar and be ready to divide in September. Tropical water lilies will still be growing strong, sending up heaps of flowers. If not, fertilise them, 2 to 3 pellets per plant. And in a full sun position, they'll be flowering beautifully right through to July. Normally at this time of year, string algae or blanket weed will start to grow more rapidly. So be ready to pull it out by hand or slow down the amount of food you're giving to your fish and let them eat it. Add natural bacteria like splosh or sprinkle small amounts of zeolite sand or mineral magic. This will absorb ammonia, which is algae food, and flop the algae, sending it to the bottom and starving it. Your summer growing edible water plants could do with a little bit of love now too. Bit of a trim and a feed will give them a nutritious boost, so when they go into their winter dormant period, they're going to come out much stronger in spring and summer. Water chestnuts should be harvested now. The stems should have gone brown and died off. The corms will be formed. Simply lift out of the pot, loosen the soil to reveal the corms. They will need to be washed thoroughly before eating, and you should replant some for next year. Aquaponics systems moving from summer to autumn will be going through changes right now. Summer growing vegetables that have finished should be removed and in-season vegetables replanted. As the weather cools, it's time to think about what to do with your barramundi. The appetite will slow down and their growth will cease. So you'll have to think about moving them into warmer water. Or if they're big enough, like this one is, it's time to harvest. Autumn is a great time to set up a frog pond. Position it in semi-shaded position and a thick layer of gravel on the base. Add as many different water plants as you can, like nardoo, milfoil and autumn crocus. A frog pond is a great way to bring diversity into your garden. And if you do all these autumn jobs now, you will be rewarded in spring.
Well, that's it for this week's show. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, the good news is we're back next week with another brilliant program. But if you want to know anything from today's show, all you have to do is check out our website. You can get fact sheets, you can watch videos. It's a great resource. But if you've got a specific question you want to ask, become a friend on Facebook. We love answering your questions. And we've got our weekly Garden Gurus Live Garden Club as well. Hope you can join us. I'm Trevor Cochran. I'll see you next week with all the gang for another great episode of the Garden Gurus.